other day I mentioned casually on Instagram that I was taking a diet break and I was showing what I ate, and people were like, oh my god, you're taking a break? Is that something I should do? How long have you been? How long should you? Let me explain to you exactly what a diet break is, why it's helpful on the fat loss journey, and why you should do it too. So let me all break it down for you and tell you exactly about what something people tend to overlook on their fat loss journey, which is the importance of taking a break from being in a calorie deficit, aka a diet break or refeed. I'm also going to share my own results because obviously I did take a break and I'm just starting now the second phase of my cut. So if you're stuck, burnt out from your cut, and you aren't maybe seeing results, this video is going to be for you. First, what exactly is a diet break? Well, the answer is pretty much in the name. It's taking a break from your diet. You're welcome. Now, it's obviously a planned period of temporarily going back to maintenance instead of being in a deficit. This isn't cheating, this isn't a cheat day, this isn't a free-for-all, it is not giving up either. It's planned, it's strategy, there is a reason why I did that. We're gonna get into it, but it basically helps your mind and body recover so you can come back stronger into a deficit. As always, let's start with the science behind it. When you've been in a calorie deficit for a while, meaning a few weeks or even a few months, your body has really powerful ways to respond and adapt. And we have two key hormones involved here, ghrelin and leptin. First, ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, tends to shoot up after a few weeks of being in a deficit. That's why you feel hungrier. It's not in your head. It's like literally happening. Your body's wondering what's going on, why are we not eating enough, because obviously its job is to keep you alive. Therefore, it's going to try to get you to, hey, excuse me, can we have some more food please? That's why you're hungrier. Second thing, leptin down. So even after a meal, you feel less satisfied. Now, one great thing about knowing that is that means that you will not think you're crazy and you will adapt your strategy because you know the biology of what's going on in your body. This applies for whether you've been doing the healthy calorie deficit versus the crazy calorie deficit. It will happen regardless. So my deficit, your deficit, it will happen regardless. That's your body's like automatic defense mechanism, okay? It's going to happen regardless. So there is no way to go around that. You just need to know that so you can sort of, you know, what's the word? Adjust your strategy and also tell yourself it's fine. It's normal to be hungrier. It's my hormones are doing that. So when you diet for too long, this is just gonna shoot up and it will get harder to actually be in a deficit just because you will feel hungrier and you might overeat or binge if you push for too long. More on that in a second. And obviously we don't want to make the cut miserable. We don't want to make fat loss miserable. That's why we are going to take a break. And I found a few studies that actually show that taking a break will restore ghrelin and leptin to a more manageable level, especially if you want to, one, stop the diet, or two, get back into it after. So it's going to get your hormones back to normal, or at least closer to normal levels, depending on how long you're doing that break for. Also going to be helpful with energy expenditure, aka your metabolism and how much your body burns, and overall your energy levels and your mind as well. Nice transition to the mental health benefits. Trying to lose weight, I don't want to say it's hard, but it kind of is. Like, I'm not saying it's miserable, but I'm saying it's hard work. The workout part is like fairly easy, right? But the diet part and having to control your intake, that's the tough part. And it's like 80% of the job, right? So you can't outrun a bad diet. If you eat like shit and if you're not in a deficit, you're just not going to lose fat. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. So the one thing to realize is that the longer you are in a cut for, the harder it is going to be on your mind, because it is hard. And I definitely saw that. That's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to take a break, because I was more stressed and I could feel some sort of irritability because I couldn't have the food, and I didn't want to get back into the disordered eating behavior that I had in the past, aka binge eating and bulimia. That I didn't want. But the most important part was that the mental space that food was slowly taking. I was thinking about food all of the time. Like, I would be eating and think about the food that I would have later. And I am too busy. I have a successful coaching business. I have clients to take care of. I have content to create for them, content to create for you. And on top of that, I'm studying to basically prepare myself for uni this fall because I'm going back to uni. I don't have time for that bullshit. So I needed to figure out a way to stop thinking about food all the time, and taking a break just became the obvious choice. This is sparkling water with 0 sugar orange flavor drops. This is going to save you. Like, this little thing right here single-handedly saves me every single time I'm hungry and still want to be on a cut, obviously. It's so helpful because it's nice flavor and bubble fills your stomach. It's really helpful on a cut. One other thing is that extended calorie deficit slows down your metabolism. Now, couple things to say about that. First thing is, as you lose weight, as you lose fat, it is normal for your metabolism to go down. And that's actually something that I shared on Instagram. You should follow me. A couple days ago, I was basically explaining that, so I did a full body and a walk today, well, yesterday, and my TDEE, so the calorie that I spent that day, was 2250 versus, I actually compared, and I'm gonna put it right here, versus when I first started in April, when I was still overweight at like 79 kilos versus now I'm like 72, 73 for the same workout, right? And it even was not as good because before I had 0 energy, so I would do like 4 exercises, maybe 2 sets instead of like 6 now and 3. I would spend before in April, so this is mid-April, 2400 calories versus now, so I lost 150 calories of just TDE. Again, it is normal. It is to be expected. But I still wanted to show you that. And that's gonna come back later because I need to say a few more things about that. Another thing is, and that's an analogy I think I've used before. Let's say every month you earn 2,000 euros, pounds, dollars, whatever you want to use. Okay, and you spend all of that. Cool. The next month, all of a sudden, you get 1,200. Are you going to spend 2,000? Of course not. And the body does the same. Now, it's not automatic, but the longer you are on that deficit, the more it's gonna say, oh, okay, I'm tired of being in a deficit now, so I'm just gonna lower the expenditure, lower the energy, the calorie I spend, so I can match the food I'm getting. And that's why it gets harder and harder the longer you stay in that deficit. You're just gonna like not see results because of that. It's especially true if you don't do the things the right way. No protein, no weightlifting, no sprints, no sleep, lots of stress, not a lot of like food, all of that. Obviously it can be controlled, right? But this is definitely what is going to happen the longer you are in a deficit for. Therefore, taking a break from being in a deficit will also help with like thyroid, this one is hard to say, hormones as well as your metabolism overall. Plus, for those of you who actually care about performance on your workouts, you will come back stronger and faster and be able to run longer or just do better in your workouts because you've taken that break. It is normal, and that's something I was talking about like as I was running, I think a few weeks before my break. I was just talking about I wasn't expecting to like do amazing just because I had been on the deficit for like 6-7 weeks by then, and obviously my body was like kind of depleted, so I was not expecting to do amazing. Now I've like had a few PRs and like, you know, I'm stronger now. I run faster and longer and I have more energy, I can tell. Okay, let's talk about how to take a diet break. You basically have 2 approaches, but the step-by-step stays the same. 1, calculate your maintenance for your new body with your new weight. 2, keep your protein intake high, basically the same that you were having now, if not a little bit more. 3, maintain your workout routine. It's not unless you want to completely rest, which is fine, but I did maintain my workout routine, and it was actually nice to have enough energy to do the long runs and push harder. I want to say at the gym, but I'm training from home, but you get the point. And 4, decide how long you are going to be in a break for. Now, here is how I would approach it. Either you take a refeed day every 3 weeks, let's say, and for that time you just eat at maintenance every like 3 Sundays, for example. Or like I did, after 6 to 7 weeks, you take a 1 week up to 2 break and you shoot up to maintenance. What I would recommend is the bigger the calorie deficit, the more often you want to take a break. So, you know, if you're doing like it like me, and that's something I should have done, but that's besides the point. If you're doing it like me, I'm like 700, 750, 100 calorie deficit because I have a deadline. Yeah, I recommend 15% calorie deficit. In that case, you can do like 8 to 10 weeks before taking a break. Again, this is not an excuse to have a free-for-all and just eat whatever you want. You are still in control, you are still tracking. I was still tracking everything. It was maintenance. It was actually nice and hard to get to maintenance, and the amount of protein I was getting was like, it was so easy. Now, few things to expect. Well, one thing to expect in terms of weight. Let's talk about that, because I know that this is your main, oh my god, what's going to happen to my weight? I wish no problem happened. I already made a video about binging, and yeah, that's my biggest lesson from that, is that if I had not waited for like 7.5 weeks before taking the break, because I basically took it when I was already like, oh my god, I can't do it anymore. So I should have done it after the 6 weeks mark, being like, okay, 6 weeks break. I should have done that before it got so bad that I fell back into binging. Like, only happened once, it's all good. You know, I was expecting I'm healing, I wasn't expecting linear. Watch this video again if you want to see the full thing. But the thing is, with the weight, what you have to expect is that it will go up. Like, for example, the 28th of May, I was at 71.7 kilos. And then so that day was the day 1 of my break. The next day, I was at 22.5. This wasn't fat. You will not gain fat by taking a break and going back to maintenance if you calculate your maintenance right. And again, any calorie calculator will do. So what happens? You will refill your glycogen stores in the body and the muscles. Therefore, it will be heavier. You have more food in the stomach. Therefore, it will be heavier. You might eat more carbs, which I did, and more salt. Therefore, you will retain more water retention. Wow. You will retain more water in your body, and so that will be heavier on the scale. It isn't going to be fat unless you get into that fuck it mentality and decide you're gonna eat whatever. And basically, if you are in surplus, that's the only reason. And even then, you would not gain that much fat in like a week of taking a break. But you get my point. It's still controlled. The weight is gonna go up. It's fine. It is fine. So yeah, that's basically what you want to remember from this. It's going to be okay. If during that week you want to not weigh yourself at all, please don't. Like, it's just, and then after a while, it's gonna go back down. Now, let's talk about my results. Obviously, the main problem is that since I binged, it kind of fucked it up, right? And the thing is, I already shared it in that video, but I'm gonna say it here. The thing that triggered the binge was the thought of, I wonder how much I would eat if I allowed myself to eat as much as I wanted. Basically seeing how much ghrelin I had in the body, right? And seeing how much do I really like feel like eating. The moment I thought that, it gave me permission to binge. And that sucked that I did that. I learned my lesson. Now that I'm back into a cut, I'm gonna do 6 weeks, not more, and then I'm gonna take a break. I mean, I'm saying it here, so keep me to my words, right? I know that I will take a break, and I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. That's one thing. I know that I will not make the same mistake twice. Anyways, funny thing is, despite the binge and then being in a, break, like on that break for like a week roughly, I actually lost still some inches around my body. I'm gonna put the body measurements here just because I know I took the waist and hips one, but I didn't take the bicep and thighs, so editing flow, you have to do that first and then add it here. Overall, it was still a great experience. I had more energy. I have more energy now and I feel much better. Like, the food noise is gone. Right now, obviously, by now I have a lot of tricks as to how to actually stay in a deficit with ease, right? I'm not making myself miserable. And it's just, it's that relief. Quick thing about what I'm doing, as I said, my metabolism has gone down, and now that I'm getting in the second phase, I could just not change anything to the plan. I could still be eating the same thing, and I could still be, working out the same way, right? However, I still want to have the same deficit, basically. So I'm eating roughly, we're gonna say 1700, right? And my new maintenance is 22, 23, before it was 24, 25. So the thing is, I had to decide, do I want to see slower results and be fine with that? Or do I want to stay within the same 700 deficit? I decided I like speed and I still really want to get below the 70 kilo before I get back to the US. So it took me a hot second to figure out like what do I want to do, and I sort of balanced the ideas of, do I not care or do I just like push through the discomfort. Decided I'm gonna push through the discomfort because that's how I function. I like challenge, and I learned a lot from my mistakes. So I know, one, eat the fucking biscuits and the ice cream and allow for that food, and two, take a break after 6 weeks, right? So I've got to do that. But the point is, basically I had to decide, do I want to A, increase my exercise, B, lower my intake. I decided, you know, 1700 is nice. I don't see myself going below that because I'm far enough from my BMR, which you should never eat below your BMR, by the way, that it's still like safe. And I'm still having my periods, I'm still really regular, and everything's fine, my hair is good, like, you know, everything's fine. And, I just increased my energy expenditure. I decided I'm gonna increase my energy expenditure. And how do I do that? I just decided to add 1 extra run. So instead of doing 3, I'm doing 4 now. And it's mostly like a tempo run, like it's 6K, it's not a big deal, right? It's like a 35-minute run, basically, which for me is not a big deal. And I'm not sure I will, I might add a 20-minute weightlifting session, which would basically be just like a glute targeted day. That's all I'm doing. So I'm adding maybe 50 minutes, knowing that right now I don't exercise more than 4 hours and a half maybe. Let's do the math. Let's do the math of how long I'm working out for. So I have 2 45-minute workouts. So that's 90, right? I'm doing 90 minutes of weightlifting. And I have 1 long run, which is like roughly 60 minutes. I have 1 sprint session, which is roughly 40. I have 1 chill run, which is 40. And now I have 1 1 tempo run, which is, I'm gonna say 35. Divided by 60. Yeah, I work out 4 hours and like 30 minutes, basically. So this isn't bad. Oh, I forgot to add the the 20-minute. Well, I work out 5 hours per week. Again, very manageable, very much fine. And for those of you who say, I have a desk job, I can't do that. I sit on this chair, I want to say 12 hours a day at that point. I have a desk job too. Okay, it's not because I'm a personal trainer that I happen to be able to move more than you. I work from home. I don't go out that often. Like, literally, I've been at home for 9 weeks now. I went outside, and I mean going outside, not going out. I mean going outside as in I went to the grocery stores or do some shopping 3 times. Twice this week, actually. But that's it. And the first time I went out was just to go pick my brother up at the train station. I do not move much. My step count, if I don't go for runs, very, very, very low. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way everything's going. I'm not glad that I binged, but I'm glad that I was able to turn this into a quick lesson of this is what you should do, so I can apply it for myself, but for you as well and my clients, right? And by the way, if you're someone who wants to lose weight and heal your binge eating, just like book a free call with me below. I'll see how I can help you. I'm helping people do that. Why not you? And yeah, that was pretty much it for this video. I will show you how the second phase is going, especially on Instagram, but I'll keep on sharing it here too. And you know, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!